I'm going to join in. Whoop, whoop. All right. We are with Anthony Wolf of Relics Comics and Illustrations. Anthony Wolf, please tell us about yourself.
Well, I draw. Right?
You draw?
Yeah, I draw. I love doing what I do. So I live here in Salt Lake City. I met Crypto Comics there at, they came to my booth at a Salt Lake Comic Convention. I can't remember what year.
FanX Spring. It was FanX Spring.
Okay.
Yep.
They don't do that anymore. I'm sad. They just stick to the one in the fall, which got canceled this year, unfortunately.
Right. We're not too happy with FanX being like that.
No. That's my bread and butter. I love going to those things. And
right.
But I've been doing comic books, my own, since 2016 is when I started with Relics. And since from there, I've been able to help other creators with their comic book pages and cover art. I do fan art. I've done portraits since I was in junior high, characters, everything.
Wow. So what got you into comics and drawing?
As a kid, my dad noticed I had some talent and that I could draw, and he would have me draw shapes, and I could draw those shapes the exact size that he would put them on paper. A lot of kids, they'll draw these big blocky forms on the paper, but I did them exactly the way my dad had them, and he noticed I could draw. So around kindergarten, I went with it. He encouraged my drawing. He encouraged it. When I would draw little stick figures, people liked it. I think that's what really got me going, and it's just something a talent that I was born with. And so as I grew up, I just studied. I would study in school, but more than studying in school, which was always on a level with all the other kids, it was looking at my dad's comic books or looking at Disney art. And as I got older, Norman Rockwell was a big influence when I got my teenage years and started collecting my own comic books. Battle Chasers by Joe Madureira, Danger Girl, J. Scott Campbell. Those are my faves. And I collected those different things. Oh, and Frank Cho. Love Frank Cho art. And so and Jim Lee, gosh, I could keep going. And I would gather all these things, and I got them for the artwork. So if the story was good, it was good. And, and it kept me, but it was the artwork. And I'd earmark the pages of my comic books just looking at all this stuff. And that's what really got me going into comic book stuff. And so then I was lucky enough in 2016 to create my own Relics, because I wanted to create something. And I did it on Kickstarter because I didn't know how else to get it funded, and it failed the first time around. I inked 24 interior pages in a cover, and my thing failed. So I looked at it as the artwork doesn't look very good, because that's what the person sees. That's what I was able to get to the Kickstarter. Right. So I went and re-inked an entire 16-page comic book and redid the whole thing and paid a colorist to color again the first 4 pages or something, and I succeeded. So I reworked the artwork. Yeah. So your first Kickstarter failed, and instead of calling it quits, you actually went in and looked at your own art and decided you needed to redo that. That's incredible. Yeah. Well, and so what I did, so that 24 pages, that was Relics issue 1. But then what I did, I went through and I redid the entire comic book, but from a different point of view. I didn't want to put in that much work. And I did all the work beforehand so that when that Kickstarter succeeded, I could get it out to my fans quicker instead of putting up a couple sample pages and then once it funded, going through the toil of making the whole thing. I did it all up front, but I made it more of a prequel issue, and that's what issue 0 is. It's kind of an introductory issue.
Now, that I was wondering, because I saw issue 0 and I was reading through it, and it hasn't been updated in the marketplace yet, or at least the copy that I have hasn't.
Okay,
so
yeah,
I got to that 7th page, and I'm like, ah!
Yeah. I know.
Now, Relics, which is an incredible comic, just awesome, and we will be getting into that more. You also did Reality versus Expectation.
Yeah, that one was a fun one, but my wife didn't appreciate it because I was for reference. I had to look at a lot of scantily clad women in Halloween costumes.
Right.
I thought it was just a fun idea. For reference.
It was
right?
for reference. I understand. It's called research, right?
That's it. Yep.
That's what I tell my wife. She walks in. She's like, "What are you looking at, Jared?" I'm like, "Research, babe.
Research.
Got to do the due diligence is what it's called. Due diligence."
Yeah, but that one's fun, and I've taken the images from that, and I've made books and posters and a deck of cards, just fan cards. So that one's a fun seller.
Oh, I love that one. That was one of the first ones that I actually saw because our partner Joe Frazier, he bought that.
Yes, yeah.
He bought that one from you, and he came back and he's like, "Hey guys, look at this view," and we're all like, "Wait, we got to go talk to him." Oh, that was kind of the thing that got us on to you, and then we saw Relics, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, this is incredible!" So now you also have done a newer comic, which is Kadzu Zombie, right?
Yeah.
Give us some understanding of that one.
I think I'd come out with the very first Comic Con I ever did. It was me at a little booth selling issue number 0, and that was it. And I actually made back my booth fee, so that gave me the drive to do another one. I think it was at the 3rd comic convention I did. I had 3 comic books out, and Daniel Wood, who's the producer of the movie Attack of the Southern Fried Zombies, they'd been filming it. They were in the post-production stage, and he met me there at this Comic Con and noticed I did comic books. We exchanged a business card. I didn't think I'd hear from him, but he ended up calling me up, and he said he had a writer, Christian Hokinson, lined up. I believe that's his name, and we got on a conference call, and he commissioned me to do a comic book, a prequel comic book to his movie, so that he could use that in promotion at comic conventions and so forth. And that was a fun one to do. It's the first time I've worked with somebody, because my comic books, I was writing them. I had all creative license, but it was fun to be able to write from a script that guy provided.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, Fry, hit on the cover of Kadzu Zombie and give us some understanding of what makes this cover so cool.
Well, while you're in the comic book, there is a part where the zombie tears out of the laboratory. So that's what I was going for, because covers sell comic books. We know that, right? Like, I've never seen
presentation
so many variants on comic book covers as today, but that's what I was going for, was something dynamic, something eye-catching. And I was just talking to you, Jared, and I know I was mentioning I put a cameo of myself, the writer Christensen behind me, and then the colorist Danica. I put us as zombies there on the front cover. Just a little fun thing.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Because I saw the cover and I recognized the main zombie character, but I didn't see the people in the back until you mentioned that. And then as soon as you said, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yep.
And that's one of the coolest things about being the artist. See, Fry, I'm an art lover. I love art. I'm not good by any imagination, but I love art. That's what draws me into comics. And Fry is an artist, and he's always putting little Easter eggs in everything. And that was an awesome Easter egg. I just wanted to give you props, man. That was so freaking cool.
Easter eggs are fun.
They're the best part. They're the best part. It's just like, every time. Well, see, the sad thing is I don't catch all the Easter eggs, but I feel privileged when awesome people like you share the Easter eggs with me, and then I can act like I'm awesome and I found them with other people.
That's what I love.
It's just the best thing to do, because then everybody gets to enjoy it.
That's right.
That's awesome. So let's get into Relics. Now, Relics is your main title, which is an awesome kind of bounty hunter, kind of almost D&D styled comic. So tell us about Relics, where you came up with the idea, the characters involved, and everything like that.
So the main story, and that's the thing, I came up with this, and you can read about this in my comic book, because I get personal with the dedication page on the front inside cover. But I like to tell people that I came up with it because my dad and I both got diagnosed with cancer in late 2015.
Oh my gosh.
I'm in remission.
Oh,
I've got
goodness.
testicular cancer. I've had radiation and surgery, but my dad, he got leukemia. And I spent time with him in the hospital. Me and my dad, we've grown up. I played D&D with him when I was a kid. And then we got into World of Warcraft and StarCraft, Diablo. We played every Blizzard title you can imagine growing up on the computers. And we'd get together and play Battle Masters, this big old board game, and we'd play Hero Quest. And we did all kinds of fun fantasy adventures, and he was a good storyteller. And so I wanted a story evolving around the character of my dad, which is Mordecus, who you meet in issue number 2. He's the necromancer that the whole story evolves around. And so I came up with the story it is with my sister. She's a writer, and we would be walking on the parkway, and gosh, I really should have had her write the story. She was just too busy, but she did we had great ideas and back and forth. And I thought, well, so I want it about this character, but I need to introduce, because I love movies, and I knew that you couldn't, I knew about scenes, and I knew about introducing characters, and I really wanted it to be about characters. And so that's kind of, I introduced these 4 characters. I sketched them out. I gave them backstories, and I thought, what would they be doing? And I thought, oh, because it evolves around them finding these treasures, these great, powerful relics, which you find out about in issue 1, how they came about. And then I'm inking and writing the last bonus, or the last jumbo issue number 5. It's going to tie everything together. And it wraps up, and you find out more about the relics. And you find out more about the character Mordecus. But that's the thing. I just thought, well, let's introduce the whole story with 4 characters that people can like. I wanted to put, because I think you write what you know, or you draw what you know, and then it comes apart, and it's easier than trying to force something that you don't know. So I infused my own comedy or humor into a couple of the characters, and a little bit of my seriousness to give 4 aspects of myself that are going on this journey to find things about that revolves around a story about my dad.
That's so awesome. So your dad is a huge motivational factor for you. That's so awesome. And the fact that you guys got to play D&D together, I'm sorry, that's awesome.
We were living in California, and my dad had a game night with buddies. I'm the oldest of 7 kids, so when my dad would go to play, I wanted to tag along so bad. So I would sit down, and I remember I'd watch him play. I'd watch him play the D&D quests and everything. And I think I was a little bit more interested in the snacks and the drinks at that point. But I loved being over there with my dad. And then later, we'd game and tell stories and read fantasy and watch movies, play games. It was fun.
Oh, that is so awesome. So what were you in your D&D world? What was your character?
That's funny. I'm always the barbarian. In any game I play, I'm always the brute strength barbarian. My favorite character, as you can see, if you can see the poster behind me, my favorite Marvel character is the Incredible Hulk.
Well, that's because he's the awesomest character in the whole universe. I mean, you don't mess with the Hulk.
You can't mess with the Hulk. No.
Oh, did you play Barbarians? My buddy had an awesome barbarian named Rekka.
Okay. I can't remember my guy's name, but yeah, it was always anybody with the most.
You have to think about that name backwards in order to get it right, though. Just so you know. Rekka. Oh, see, I was always the rogue. I would always what I would do is I would cause problems because I was always level 5 and they were all 20. And then I would cause problems and then somebody would try and kill me. And then my buddy would have to protect me because I was so weak. It was not fair, but I was always the rogue, man. I should have tried a more buff class.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. So you pulled from your dad, you pulled from your personality aspects, and that's where Relics comes from.
Yeah, there's a lot of just personal stuff in there. And so, yeah, that's what I like.
That's fantastic.
Another thing, too, that's driven me to finish this, you know, Joe Madureira with Battle Chasers, he never finished.
Yeah, he only got to like episode 9 or something like that.
Yes, and I wanted so much more of that. And so that's one of the reasons that when I failed my first Kickstarter, I thought, no, I'm going to keep going with this. And I got the second one, and I succeeded with issue 0, and then 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then around the time of issue 4, like there's so much that goes on in life, and there's so many things going on, but I wanted to finish the miniseries. I wanted to finish the story. Also because being an artist, and I don't know that my dad ever understood, he's a musician. He writes music, and he taught music his whole life. But I would grow up starting a project, but not finishing it. I'd start an art piece and maybe move on to something else, or maybe back when Pogs were all the rage. I don't know if you remember Pogs, Slammers. And I designed some of my own. It didn't work out very well, but I designed some of my own, but then I'd stop. And he'd see all these great ideas that I would start and stop. And so he got to the point where he'd say, man, you don't finish anything. And that hit me. That hit me personally. And I thought, you know, I'm going to finish this because it's about him.
What a great dad.
Yeah.
He sounds like
making me
the number
finish.
one dad. I want to be like him. If my kids will reflect like you have of your, he's awesome. Shout out to your dad right there.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. So how much of Relics is left? Like, what are we looking at here? Because I think you're on issues. You have 6 issues in the marketplace right now.
Well, there's 5. There's 0 through 4, and I'm working on issue 5 at the moment. So this will be the 6th.
The 6th issue is the one that you're working on.
Yeah, it'll be the final one, and there's so much to do, man. I've inked, and I've been inking. I sent a page over to you to take a look at. I've inked 11 pages thus far, and I keep wanting to. I have to outline it before I do the comic book. I have to think, okay, in this chunk of pages, I'm going to tell this scene, and then I'm going to go to this scene, and all those scenes have to fit together, and then I wrap it up. But there's so little real estate in a comic book to tell the story that you want to tell. So it's probably going to end up being 28 pages once I'm finished with it.
And this is the last one of this arc, or of the series, or of the book?
Of this miniseries. So
they already found all the relics?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to find out. But
it didn't seem like it in the first 4. What's going on here, Anthony?
The thing that inspired me to do the miniseries format was Danger Girl with J. Scott Campbell. See, I pull from everything. I pull my ideas from all kinds of stuff. But I remember reading Danger Girl. I can't remember how many issues it was, but the first thing that J. Scott Campbell did the original interior artwork for the whole first storyline. And it was all tied together, and it was one story. And then after that, I believe he did covers, and other people did the interior work for different adventures that the Danger Girls had. But yeah, that's what I liked about it, was summing it up in one story instead of 500 issues that just keep going and going and going. Because I can't do that.
Well, so what is your plan? So you're gonna miniseries out Relics, and then do you have something in the works, or are you planning to take what are you gonna leave us hanging? Because I mean, you can't leave us hanging, dude. Your artwork is incredible. Anybody out there who hasn't checked out Anthony Wolf's Relics, Kazu Zombies, Reality versus Expectation, you really need to check out this guy's artwork, because it is phenomenal, man. It is so good. I freaking love your style. I love the way you draw. It looks so incredible. Like, that was definitely, when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is a pro. And I wasn't sure if you actually, back then, I wasn't sure if you hired it out or not. I thought you might be the writer because you had all the stories, but you are the man with the plan.
No, I hired out a lot of the coloring, and I was always trying to find colorists that if I were to color, it would look like that. So now I do my own coloring. I've
How's
gotten
that?
into that, but
Are you liking what you're seeing with your own coloring, or?
yeah, I'm progressing. That X-Men on the beach piece that I sent you, that's my newest one. So I'm getting there. It's
Oh,
tough.
Fry, can you throw that up for us if you haven't already? X-Men on the beach, just so people can see what he's talking about. I actually looked at that piece prior to our spotlight, and I thought it was awesome. I was looking at all those pieces that you sent me. Those are all commission pieces, right?
No, the X-Men one was. The other ones I just did as fan art so that I could sell them at Comic-Con. Because at Comic-Con, people don't buy comic books, they buy the fan art.
Yeah, I know, because it's
I had to
the
learn
best
that.
part.
But no, with Relics, I just plan on wrapping up this initial storyline, and as a lot of artists that I have followed do, they take a little sabbatical and they do something else. So, because I want to dabble in different comic book genres. So
like
maybe I'll come
science fiction, stuff like that.
Yeah, I love. I'm a Star Trek fan. I'm a Trekkie.
Oh, right on. I'm with you.
I like Star Wars. It's okay, but I'm really a Star Trek fan. So I would love to do something space. I love westerns. I would love to do something of western.
Have you checked out Morningstar in the marketplace yet?
Yes, I've seen that one. I like that.
Yeah, that's great inspiration for you, man. That is fantastic. Oh, dude, I would love to see you come out with a western, especially with your style of drawing. That would be awesome. And a space one, that would be cool as well. I'm not even joking. And in any other genre you want to like shoot at, please do.
And that's the thing. And I would probably, because I really want to, I love the old 1920s and 30s crime noir gangster feel. So I would love to do something in that area. Prehistoric. I love Frank Cho's artwork. Anytime he does, is it Savage Girl? Where she's in the period of the dinosaurs. I love Frank Cho's stuff when he's doing dinosaurs, you know?
Yeah, I'm actually, well, that's definitely not Savage Girl, but I'm not very familiar with Savage Girl.
I don't know if it's Savage Girl. I can't remember, but anytime I see, because that's the thing. Sometimes I forget titles and the stuff because that's the artwork that I like.
That's so awesome, though. Like that's awesome because, I mean, your artwork is so specific and just it's a really unique, awesome style that you own, Anthony. Like, again, I can't say enough about your artwork. It really is fantastic. And anybody who has a chance, so let's plug some places where people can actually check out your stuff. Where all can they go?
So I do have my own website, relicscomics.com. I sell everything there from prints to comic books to the digital. You can buy my comics digital there. You can also go on Comixology. I've got Relics and Kudzu Zombies up there on Comixology. And then locally, if ever they do the Comic Cons here, like FanX in Salt Lake City, you can find me there. I've also been to WonderCon down there in Anaheim, and I'd love to get back there.
So your website, then you have Comixology. Now, any future plans for Kickstarters?
Yeah, I will be doing a Kickstarter for issue number 5 when I'm ready with it.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, you can tell that you've gone through the process. We just did a roundtable with a bunch of creators, and that was kind of one of the questions in relation to Kickstarters. And the people who had successfully pulled off Kickstarters, like Gemma Young, Chad Harden, those people, they actually said you've got to have something before you actually get going with your Kickstarter. Because if you go to your Kickstarter first and you don't have some pages ready to rock and roll, you are in for a nightmare.
Yeah, you have to have something. It has to be pleasing to the eye. It has to really wow the person. And even the way you set up that Kickstarter page, the way you've outlined the details of it and your reward, that's what I have found out. It has to visually be stunning and draw people in from the get-go.
That's fantastic, which is what you specialize in, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I
It's
sell
awesome.
things.
Anthony, you're such a bad A. You're such a bad A, man.
Real
You
quick,
make...
guys, I'm going to cut in here, and we got a few things in chat to go over.
Oh, awesome.
So, let's see. Jesse Hansen's on from Facebook Show Sport. Thanks, Jesse. Appreciate it, man.
Right on.
Terrence Hull said, "Welcome to the jungle." Clear at the top of the hour. So sorry I missed that
Woohoo.
comment, buddy. Let's see. Lorebridge says, "Can't hear you, Andrew." You can now, sucker.
Oh man, I'm gonna say something about that if I get a chance.
Do it.
Next some
Say
people
something.
around.
Say something. Do it. Do it.
Okay, so just so everybody knows, my buddy Fry is super busy making me look good. Mm-hmm. So when he doesn't look interested, it's because he's working behind the scenes, making me and Anthony look good. So thank you, Fry, for all that you do.
And everyone who's seen Jared understands how big of an undertaking that is. I feel like
I don't have a clue. I'm pretty
let's
sure
see
you
here.
just punch buttons.
Jason on Facebook says, "Hey, Jared," and also asks, "Anthony, would you ever do a cyberpunk comic?"
That would be interesting. Have you? I don't know. I collected a series called Lady Mechanica, and it was by Joe Benitez, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw him at FanX.
And I love that style of art. Yeah, that style of artwork's amazing, but it's so detailed. Mm-hmm. I'd like to work in that, and I'd like to do a cover for one of his comics. That'd be fun. But I think that's more of a steampunk.
Well, now here's a question for you. You say that steampunk is pretty detailed because you get into the steam components and those little gears and stuff. I'm assuming that's where the detail comes into play. But with that said, I mean, with your style, if you gave it your flair, it would still be a steampunk, maybe not with the intrinsic detail, but still, it would be interesting to see your creative style with a steampunk.
And I can do it. I usually, when I draw quickly. And so if I put my mind to things and really pay attention to detail and I'm not working under a deadline, I can create really detailed, intricate stuff. And that's fun to do when you can get a piece to turn out that's got so much line work and so much detail and little things that catch your eye. That's fun to turn out.
But not with a deadline.
No.
I hate deadlines. Just ask anybody that works with me. They're like, "Hey, did you get this done?" I'm like, "When was it due?" "Last week." "Oh."
That's this string on this pinky.
Right. Oh. Sorry about that. No, I completely understand deadlines. See, the pressure. This is why I would not be successful like you. The pressure. I don't think I can handle it. Yeah. You guys are under tremendous amounts of pressure to deliver. Like I'm super excited about Volume 5, man. Like it's gonna be so epic. And so when are you gonna deliver, Anthony? We're waiting, man.
I know.
See,
I'm excited. I'd like to get it out this year. I wanted to have it ready for the Comic-Con in the fall. They canceled. But so I don't know. And then I've been luckily slammed with a lot of work. So when I don't have work, I ink away here doing my relics.
Well, you're staying busy. I mean, like you said, with everything that's been going on, the turmoil in the world, if you will, you've been actually able to stay busy.
Yeah, I stay busy, and I love it. I work here from home, and I scrape together commissions and other work whenever I can get it, and it's kept me busy enough. And then that's the thing, too. When I'm not working on that, I do some of my own things, and those are fun to do.
Oh, right on. So you're literally paying the bills with commissions?
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
And other clients. I do whiteboard animations, storyboards for other people. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just however I can. I do all kinds of drawings. Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. You're living the dream.
Yeah, I am.
You're living the dream, man. That your dad, who is awesome, freaking gave you the power to take hold of. Like that's such an awesome story. That's so incredible. So how would you describe your style for the viewers?
It's cartoony, I would say, first of all. It is cartoony, but lends itself to a little bit more realistic. It's not Walt Disney, but Walt Disney art does influence some of my stuff. But it's not totally realistic, but it's kind of just a mesh between realistic, cartoonish. I don't know. I like it. I like also when I shade and when I color, I like it to be rich, full colors and smooth shading.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I see that. See, I like how your drawings are real. That's the best way to put it. It's best reflected in Relics. The characters' limbs and stuff, they're big in form, you know. They're not real small and getting into that finer detail. They're more round. I want to say round, but I don't know if that's a great way to describe it. But such a fantastic style, you know, because it really is. It's clean. It is a clean look.
Yeah, you'll notice in mine, which varies. I don't do a lot. I do a lot of line work, but I don't do a lot of that dark black shading that you might find in I can't remember his name. Frank Lee, who did Sin City. Like his.
I think it's Frank Lee.
No, not Frank Lee. It's Frank something.
Who was it? Fry?
Frank.
Come on, who was it?
Frank
who?
Miller.
Frank Miller. That's it, yeah.
Oh,
I had one of them right.
Goodness, Fry was here to save us. Woo!
Dang, guys, welcome to the comics industry.
Hey, dude, thank you for welcoming us, man. You're so sweet. Look,
no, I feel bad for
names. I'm still trying to figure out half of them.
So that's what I do. I mean, I don't do a whole lot of the dark blacks or the cross hatching. Yeah, a lot of my lines are just clean lines, and then I like to fill it in with shading and color.
Yeah, which I found really pleasing. Really pleasing. I love detail. You know, I love detail. I love shadowing and shading and stuff like that. But when I was going through Relics, I really liked how clean the pictures were, and it really adds to the way that the story is told and the way that your scenes make up and stuff. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. It's an excellent comic, which reminds me, everybody, you need to jump over to cryptocomics.com/u/Relics Comics, and you can actually there's a sponsored campaign by Anthony where you can join up and actually check out his comics in the marketplace while we're still in beta. Once we're out of beta, it's gonna have to buy them, suckers, but they're worth buying. So and with that said, don't stop going to Comixology. Don't stop going to relicscomics.com. Make sure you guys go there and support Anthony, because this is his bread and butter. These are the people that we are doing this for, so they can make money and keep making us awesome stuff. Right, Anthony?
That's right. Thank you, Jamie.
Oh, dude, thank you. Are you kidding? Thank you. Your pieces are awesome. Is there going to be anything else with Kudzo Zombies? I mean, have you heard from him? Did he like the first book enough to maybe think of doing a couple more with you, or what's the dealie there?
I don't know. I remember he went to, what was it, the LA Comic Con, and I was down there. I had my own booth, but we had branded a whole, he did a reprinting of that issue and branded it as exclusive for that comic convention. And he's a marketer. He's like you. He's got all the energy in the world. I don't have all I draw and I can talk to people, but I'm not good at marketing or selling and all that stuff. So he was just getting out there, and he was selling his comics left and right at his booth and really getting the word out. I don't know. I've asked him before, but it wasn't really, we didn't get serious into it about maybe following up his movie with a sequel comic book. But I think that'd be
interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I think it would be too. I really enjoyed that first issue.
That's the thing, see, and that's what I was talking to you about earlier. I've done a zombie, and that was fun. I've done a zombie comic book. I think I could do it better now. It's always a learning process. There's things that I could do differently, and I always draw something, and then I go back and look at it, and there's very few things that I look at and think, oh yeah, I like that just the way it is. Usually it's, I could do better than that. And so I love that I've been able to do a zombie comic And that's why I want to venture out and do a gangster and an army and a western and something in space, you know.
Oh, I look forward to those. I look forward. Do
Yeah.
you think you'll be writing the stories for those, or do you think you're gonna probably do more of a combo and get with people?
I'd rather get a writer. It's so much easier. If somebody does the writing, that takes 25% of the work off my plate, because penciling, inking, and coloring takes so much time. So if I have somebody that could write and be able to fill out, like, I'd love to give them the story or the direction that I want to go with it and let them write for it, because I think it'd turn out a lot better. I'm not the greatest at writing.
You guys hear that out there? Anthony's looking for partners.
Right.
And he's a bad A artist. I'm telling you, his stuff is dope.
You can make magic.
Wicked or awesome or whatever word you want to use. Oh, that's freaking awesome, dude. Well, it's awesome. Well, Anthony Wolf of Relics Comics and Illustration. Let's plug all of your stuff one more time. Make sure everybody gets the opportunity to know where to go to get the stuff. We've got Relics or relicscomics.com.
That's right.
And then, Fry, are you able to put these links up in the chat for us? Make sure people can go there. We've got Comixology. You guys are going to have to dig when you get there, because they don't promote the indies as well as we do. And
Just
then
look up Relics on there. And then also follow me on Instagram at Relics Comics.
Okay. So we got Instagram at Relics Comics. Do you have a Facebook?
I believe that's the same thing. You look for Relics Comics and you should find me on there.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then you've got cryptocomics.com/u/Relics Comics.
Yeah.
That's them being able to get in on a beta situation. So just everybody know, if you're coming in through Anthony's link, you're able to join, but only for the beta situation. And then once that goes, these people are going to be selling their comics in a marketplace where you can own them, which is pretty awesome in my own personal opinion. It's going to be, and hey, thank you. Just so everybody knows, Anthony has been with us forever. He came in way, way, way back in 2019 spring. So that was back when it really sucked, if I remember correctly. I'm not even joking. You remember, I came to you and I'm like, Anthony, come. Oh, we're so awesome. And you came in and you're like, oh, yeah, this is really sick. And we never saw you again for like, what, 8, 10, 12 months?
Well, and then I did come back. And the thing about it was, no, you didn't suck. You got better.
Dude, you can't hurt our feelings, man. We suck. We know.
We totally understand.
It was that site, and it was difficult to work with and put pages up on there. And I was like, oh. And then I came back to it. You'd connected with me again and said, hey, you should get your stuff up there. And I did, and I came back on. I was like, wow, that was so easy. And I just uploaded everything I had. I said, here, let's put it all on there. So you can get the full issue of Zero now on there. I only had a preview back in the day, but you can get the whole.
Oh, dude. Okay, cool. Don't take down that Zero. Don't take down that Zero mess up, because that's going to be a collector's item someday.
That's right. Yeah.
True. I have a copy of it. Just saying.
I remember because I was like, see, this is one of the greatest things, and it's hard to explain to people, because this is why the marketplace is getting better, is because of people like you coming in, doing stuff. I mean, I remember you were like, oh, this is really hard, Jared. I'm really busy. I'll see you around. And I'm like, oh, hey, okay, Anthony, bye. And then you never came back. And I went back to my team and I'm like, guys, but because you came in and you gave us that feedback, that's the thing that makes the difference. That's why it's so much better, is because of people like you and David Lilly and everybody in the beginning who came in and really sacrificed time, which is super, super valuable. Because like you said, coloring, inking, penciling, that all takes a lot of time. That's money. That is money to you guys. And so for you to take that time, we just want to say thanks. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
I
love the platform, and you guys have such a great idea with the crypto comics thing. And I was asked where I saw comics going, and that's where I think it's going to end up. It's all going to end up online. I love the printed material. I love holding and
but we're going to keep that. We're going to keep that. We're going to figure out a way. We're going to figure out a way. We'll figure it out. Anything's achievable if we just put our minds together.
That's right.
But the thing about the digital that I do kind of like is the cheaper cost for the creators, right? You don't have all the print costs and shipping costs and all these added things that really make it hard because you don't get paid much. You know, it's a couple of dollars, $3, $4, $5. I mean, 10 if you're really aggressive in a convention. But how many people want to spend $10? You know, I'm old school. I want to see the $2.99. You know, but I want to see the 35-cent. There's my price. Woo! I'll be buying those all day long. But that's what's so great. That's what's so great is the digital is gonna give people that ability to actually put their comics out. And because we're all over the world, you know, the numbers can be achieved. You're limited by foot traffic when you go physical. And that's an unfortunate thing, unless you have excellent distributor connections. You know what I mean? Which, do you have excellent distributor connections?
I do not.
And you have an excellent comic. See, that's the disconnect. So again, people like you have helped us, you know, because I remember I got to go through the reader with you. If you remember way back in the day, which our reader has been improved since then because of feedback that you gave us.
Yeah.
It is, huh?
It's nice. I really like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of questionable back in the day. Back in the day, I mean, we were fresh. Oh, I remember we were fresh out. And you were so awesome, and we were like, "Oh yeah, look how awesome we are!" And you're like, "Yeah, I'll see you guys later." Oh, those were the days. So, dude, it is so good to have you back. Oh, go ahead.
Real quick from chat, Jared. So Lucas from Facebook says, "Would love to work with you and your style on a story."
Oh, that's Lucas. Is that Lucas Kim from Free Fall Comics?
Yep.
He's awesome.
Lucas is also very cool. So.
Yes, he is awesome. Free Fall Comics.
I'm just gonna throw the idea out there. If you two do connect and some magic happens, Jared and I would be perfect for background characters.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There we go.
One superpower. It's called.
Yeah, that'd be fun. You should hit me up, Lucas. Like DM me or send me something so I can get a hold of you.
I'll make that connection.
I can't say anything right now because I just got my little phone here.
No, I'll make that connection for you guys. I will make that connection for you guys.
Yeah, Lucas.
I'll make sure you guys are connected. That's fantastic. Is that it?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, I just want to make sure I chime that in, man. You never stop to breathe, so I just have to cut you off at this point.
Sorry. You want me to take a break for a second?
Oh, that got awkward.
Hey, see what happens when I don't keep talking until I can't.
If he doesn't keep talking, it gets awkward.
Well, dude, Anthony, thanks so much, man. It's so good to see you back. It's and involved. It's great to hear that you're doing so well. That's fantastic. I mean, the fact that you're paying the bills with your commissions and stuff, that's incredible. That's incredible, dude. That's some hustle. So excellent work there. My hat's off to you. Anybody out there, please support Anthony Wolf. Go check him out. RelicsComics.com. Comicsology. Just click in Relics. You'll be able to find it. If you don't have money like me, go to cryptocomics.com/u/Relics Comics. Join up under Anthony and freaking check out his comics and a lot of other comics right now. They're all free. It doesn't look like they're free when you buy them, but they are because you ain't spending no money. And then just support the creators, please. This is what we're here for. So Anthony, do you got any last parting words for us, brother?
Not that I can think of. No.
Who's your biggest hero? I already know the answer, but
It's gotta be my dad.
I knew it. Oh, you're so awesome. You're so awesome. I'm gonna cry. That's so awesome.
That's cool.
You're such a bad A. Anthony, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Everybody, thank you for being here and watching. These spotlights really help get the word out for these creators. So please help us by sharing and liking and pushing the word out. I mean, let's get together. We come together, we bring money together, people get paid, and then they make us way more cool stuff to read, which is really good. So thanks, everybody. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah. See you guys.